Hey everybody, welcome to this achievement guide for Modern Warfare 2 2022 on the Xbox Series X. Today we are unlocking two achievements, Crocodile and Nessie. And to unlock Crocodile, you need to shoot 3 enemies while underwater in Wetwork, and for Nessie, you need to reach the barge without being seen in Wetwork. So both of these achievements do take place in Wetwork, so we are going to be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So first off, we are going to be starting up the level Wetwork, and we are going to get started on Crocodile right off the bat. So we are just going to head over to the first enemy, take them out with a throwing knife, and then we are going to take the weapon that the enemy does drop, and we are now going to go and find 3 more enemies for us to kill while we are underwater. So go ahead, make sure you pick up the pistol, and then we're going to continue on down the docks. You can of course go for enemies that I'm not going for. You can go for whatever enemies you do choose. However, you need to make sure that you kill at least 3 enemies while you yourself are underwater. I actually had to kill 4 enemies total. I'm not too sure why. Maybe the achievement is buggy, but I killed 3 enemies and it didn't pop. Then I killed my 4th one and it did, so also be aware of that. All right, now we are coming up to our first enemy here. All you need to do is head underwater and go ahead and pop them in the head. Try your best to aim for their head. I know it can be a bit weird underwater, but 1 shot in the head will take them out. You don't need to worry about getting spotted. You can actually get spotted underwater and still get this achievement. You just need to make sure that every kill you get is with an enemy that is underwater. So here's our second enemy, bam, we are getting a headshot, and you saw it took 2 shots there, so don't be too concerned about getting spotted. Just make sure that you yourself are underwater while you kill them. Now on this dock right here, there are actually 2 enemies for you to kill if you want to go ahead for those enemies, but I actually decided to go across the water for whatever reason. I honestly don't know. I just felt like having a more open area would give me more options for being underwater and being able to shoot these enemies. It's definitely up to you. You don't need to go for these specific enemies. Remember that you can go for whichever enemies you want. Just make sure you remain underwater. So bam, there is our 3rd enemy taken out with a single headshot, and then now we are going up to our 4th enemy. You can see I don't have the achievement yet. It should have unlocked on that 3rd enemy, but we are going to be taking out the 4th enemy here. Bam, here is the shot, and then there is the achievement. So keep that in mind. You may need to kill 4 enemies if the achievement does not unlock when you go for 3 enemies. Alright, now let's restart your checkpoint, and we are going to get started with the achievement Nessie. Alright, and remember that we need to make sure we do not get seen while we are going through this level. The achievement description requires you to not get seen until you reach the barge. So we need to take out every single one of these enemies without getting spotted, meaning we cannot be yelled at, shot at, or just noticed, and then all of the enemies go on high alert. You can actually let the enemies get on high alert, but as long as you yourself are not seen, that is safe. From my understanding, I believe that is safe, but in this run, we are not going to let the enemies go on high alert at all. Alright, so of course you saw the first enemy in the beginning get killed by a throwing knife, and then this enemy right here, we are also going to be killing them with a throwing knife. Right away, we are going to be heading to the left position of the docks here to line up for our next throwing knife kill. Mainly throughout this entire achievement, you are going to want to use the throwing knife only. Only in certain scenarios would you want to use a pistol. Alright, so here is our 3rd kill. We wait for them to spot the body. They are far enough away from that other enemy over there on the docks, and we are killing them with the throwing knife. And then of course that enemy at the docks, we're killing them with the throwing knife, and then there we get another kill with a throwing knife. That is our 5th kill. Keep that in mind. Sorry if that was a bit fast. We did have to move quite fast there to make sure that the ship, or the watch boat, whatever you want to call it, did not spot the enemies that we just killed. And if you saw right there, I just grabbed the attention of the boat, so they stopped their engines and now they are still. They are not moving at all. I went for a kill with a throwing knife and they were perfectly lined up for me, so I was able to throw 2 throwing knives in quick succession and take them out without being noticed at all. They hardly had any time to react, and it was very, very fortunate for me because I was far enough away that the throwing knife would not auto aim on them. It wouldn't, immediately snap to them. So make sure that if you are going to be aiming in the throwing knives like I was there, especially when it comes to the 2 boats in this level, that you are at a certain distance away, so that way it doesn't automatically snap onto them, because you do oftentimes require an arch when throwing a throwing knife, right? So be aware of that when you are using the throwing knives. And then we are going to kill these 2 enemies on the right side here. They are pretty good at, being away from any other enemies. They don't normally look at each other either, so just kill them as soon as you spot them, and then we are going to continue on. Right here, I'm waiting for the boat to come by. I'm just saying, okay, what's the best route? What should I do right here? And we're just waiting for the boat to get into the area. We do have the same option to get the boat's attention and make them stall, so that way they remain still, and then we can use our throwing knives. And like I said before, just make sure you're at a certain distance away before you use the throwing knives, because it gets really annoying if it does snap onto them while you're trying to aim at an arc. All right, and you can see right here, I'm actually trying to grab the attention of the enemies that are on the boat. To no success, they don't actually spot me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. We're going to go over to the left side of the level and we are going to go for the enemies that are at the end of the level, and then we'll get that boat later on. But actually, funnily enough, I do end up going for air and I accidentally get their attention. You can see they spotted me for like a split second when I was going up for air. So they stopped. They're in the middle of the water and now they're kind of at a really decent position since I have this dock right here to take them out. So it is really important, like I mentioned earlier, to make sure you're at a good distance so that the throwing knife does not snap onto them. We're going to be aiming at them with an arc. Bam. We are going to go for the right enemy, and then really quickly we're going to go for the left enemy. You got to be really good with your aim, and you also have to be really fast with your aim, because if one spots the dead body, they're going to alert every other guard, and that's going to throw off everything. It's going to make them super vigilant, and it's going to make things a lot more difficult. So be really, really careful and act really, really quickly. That is why I recommend throwing knives, because they kill the enemy basically immediately, especially if you are hitting them in the upper body. All right, now if you followed all of the enemies that I killed, you made sure to follow the same paths that I took. You should have only 4 enemies left. We are going to go for the enemies at the far left of this level first, and then we're going to make our way over to the right side. So you should be able to get behind them fairly easily at the position that I'm at, and then really quickly you should be able to throw throwing knives at them, especially if you're at a far enough distance and you don't need to worry about snapping onto them and ruining your throw. You know, that's one thing you got to worry about a lot throughout this level, but you should be able to really quickly throw some throwing knives at them and ensure you kill them. And also, I don't think I mentioned this throughout this level, make sure you pick up your throwing knives. You want to make sure you have as many throwing knives as possible, so that way you can kill every single enemy you come across with throwing knives. All right, right there you saw we killed the final 2 enemies. Make sure you kill the enemy that I killed on the left side first, and then kill the enemy on the right side, because if you do it the opposite way, you'll get spotted and the other enemy will notice, and then things might get messy. So make sure you do it in the exact order that I did, and you shouldn't have any issue. Anyways, that is the achievement unlocked. I do hope that I was able to help you out with this video. If I was, please do consider dropping a like, and of course, if you did enjoy the content, definitely consider sticking around and subscribing, because we're going to be making more and more guides for this game, and we're going to be doing the same with many others to come. So definitely stick around and subscribe for that. All right, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and I hope I was able to help you. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care and have a great day.